Hey there, welcome back to the channel. This is Power Stroke Maintenance, and I'm going to be providing you an update on my steering situation. I think we have solved the mystery of the sloppy steering, no thanks to me. I know when I posted a video a few weeks ago, I didn't really do a good job describing the problem, and a lot of folks thought that I was just complaining about how solid axle steering feels. And I think my demonstration of shuffling the steering wheel was probably pretty terrible. I didn't do a good job explaining what my complaint was, but now that I have the solution figured out and the part on the way, I think it will make a lot of sense to you folks. So probably to absolutely none of your surprise, the issue was the upper joint on my track bar. So I hadn't been getting death wobble at the time of the update, but as time wore on, I've started to get that little shimmy in my front axle, and that is what is making the steering feel very sloppy. So the axle is moving side to side, and I'm having to correct a bunch in order to keep the truck going in a straight line. It wasn't the steering box like I thought, but in hindsight, and after talking to my brother, who's a heavy-duty mechanic, I wasn't really doing a lot of high-speed off-roading, stuff that would really blow up your steering box, and so it didn't really seem like that was the cause. And so after he crawled around underneath and I did the wiggle test with the front end, that kind of showed us that it was indeed the track bar, which again, in hindsight, it's like, no duh, it was the track bar. Like, mine has 114,000 miles on it. It's the original OEM track bar that came on the truck, and these track bars are super problematic. They're like the #1 cause of death wobble. So if you're looking for death wobble, check your track bar for play, because that is usually the culprit #1. Culprit #2 is your drag link. Culprit #3 is your tie rod ends. So usually it's one of those three that's causing your truck to have death wobble or to just steer like shit. So without further ado, I'm gonna get in and fire up the truck, and we are going to see, and hopefully I can catch this on camera, but we're gonna see exactly what's causing the steering play. And I'm hoping this will be a good illustration for any of you folks that have death wobble or sloppy steering. Hopefully you saw in that video the play in that top joint where it attaches to the frame of the truck. And so the way that that causes death wobble or loose steering is when, you know, you're steering and everything in the steering linkage is fine, but then your axle decides to do its own thing and does one of these, or, you know, will go off in one direction, or we'll do this really fast. And the fast, like S jitter, is what is death wobble. It's, you know, the play in the steering that can be caused by either hitting a bump, going at a certain speed, any number of things. So for me, the death wobble was the track bar. Again, 3 top things that cause death wobble are the track bar, the drag link, or the tie rod ends. And, you know, the drag link and the tie rod ends are specific to the steering. So the wheels, if they're loose in the steering, they can also do the S vibration, which creates death wobble, or the track bar, which makes the axle do its own thing, which is also equally terrible. So I hope this is helpful. This has been my experience diagnosing this. The track bar is the last thing I haven't replaced since I bought my truck. So for those of you who still have stock Ford front ends and you're getting death wobble, really the best thing you can do is just replace the Ford steering components, because they're not good. So I did decide to get the PMF track bar, the adjustable track bar, which goes from stock ride height up to 4.5 inches of lift, just to solve this issue. And so that is actually going to be coming in later this week, and I will film the install for you all so you can see how one would go about putting in an aftermarket track bar, how you adjust it for the stock height, stuff like that. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Leave a comment below and let me know if you're having issues with death wobble. Big shout out to one of my subscribers. I don't know if he wants to be mentioned in the video, but he commented on my last video and then followed up. He had replaced his track bar, the OEM Ford track bar, with a Carly adjustable track bar, and it fixed his death wobble and sloppy steering. So big shout out, you know who you are. I really appreciate you. And again, For anyone else who watched this and was like, oh, you're complaining about the solid axle steer, I do apologize. I think that's on me because I did a bad job demonstrating what my issue was. So this is Power Stroke Maintenance. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.